Right folks, and welcome back to the channel. Well, we were going to start on the solar panels on the roof today, but it's been a horrible morning. It's cold, it's rained 2 or 3 times, and it's not been a good day. So still having trouble with the old off-grid solar setup. You know, I have put a few things on Facebook and YouTube. You know, people keep asking about building a solar system themselves, and I've had quite a few people contact me, and while it's nice that they do contact me and ask my opinion, I don't have time really to build other people's systems. But the main thing I would say, these are the sort of inverter that most people are looking at. They're cheap, you can buy them for about £300–400 off eBay. They're fairly small, but they just don't last. We've had this for 5 years, and yes, it's worked fine, but now it's failing. You can see the red light, there's a fault on it, and it's basically at the end of its life, and it's not economical to fix it. The problem is most people that are looking to build a solar system have got a limited budget. This here cost about £3,000 to build. Yeah, the inverter was cheap, but the capability of the inverter to take the amount of solar panels we've got, it just couldn't do it. So we couldn't use the charging function of the inverter. We had to buy the Blue Solar charge controller and then the batteries and the panels. So this is about £3,000 investment. We've had it for 5 years and we've had money out of it. Most of that is getting reused in the new system, so it's not a waste of money, it's just the inverter that's kind of a dead duck. But you know, when people keep asking me, I keep saying you're better off actually buying second-hand equipment and buying quality, buying Outback, buying Victron, buying stuff that you can get fixed and stuff that's got a resale value. All this system here, most of that is second-hand that I've bought. Other people have obviously bought it and used it for 5 or 6 years, upgraded, and they've got the money back because it's worth money. You know, it's got a resale value. The Chinese stuff, it's junk at 5 years old. So just show you what we've been doing. I'm just doing it step by step. So everything's costing a lot of money these days. So these cables, I've ordered these off eBay. Quite difficult to get your big cables. So these are basically our combiner box. So the 4 strings of solar panels come in here. They've got the fuses. They've got surge protection in case you get lightning or anything. And so your surge protection has to be earthed. So these are 16mm cables going into the Outback solar charge controllers. And then we jump up to 25mm cables to go up to our junction box. So 16mm again. I ran out of 25mm cable, I've had to order some more, that's another 70 quid. So then that goes into that junction box, and we go into 25mm cables into our bus bars that I haven't ordered yet because it's more expensive, 300 quid. So these are all our earth cables for the DC side of the system. Again, I'm waiting for my DC earth bars. They've still not come, they should have come by Friday. So that's why the cables are just sitting there stripped. They will be up there nice and tidy and some conduit when those bits arrive. So I've just been doing what I can do. All these cables and everything are expensive, so I'm just ordering it a bit at a time, working out what I need. Everything takes time, you have to crimp everything. So we didn't have a mounting bracket for this big Victron inverter. You'll see it's slightly bent. Bought it off eBay. Royal Mail has obviously dropped it. The mounting bracket didn't come with it. I don't know whether it got lost in the post or the seller didn't send it, but tried to deal with the seller on eBay. It didn't respond to any messages, so I just gave up. I couldn't be bothered. So I did ask on one of the Facebook groups about a mounting bracket. It seemed difficult to get. So James came up with a solution of a piece of strap band, heavy duty builder strap band that you've got in the van. So it's not just got 4 screws, there's a row of screws in the bottom holes. We've used big washers to space it off the wall. We got the bottom screws tight, held it open with a hammer, mounted the inverter, and then put these 4 screws, 2 at each end, to hold it on. It's also screwed in at the bottom. And then we've just started doing the wiring, doing what we can do with what we've got. So this is the generator cable going into the inverter. You have to crimp all the lugs on. It's not an easy job. This is the AC out of the inverter again. You have to crimp all the lugs on. I've only got a manual crimper because I'm poor. Again, this is all wired up. I'm waiting on my 100 amp changeover switches that these inverters will go into again. They were supposed to come Thursday. The seller says there's a problem with the postage, so I'm just kind of held up just now waiting on kit, but I'm doing what I can do, getting everything wired up. If I get time tomorrow, I'll start wiring out in the Outback inverter, but I'm just getting all the AC out, and then I'm going to get the DC done up there, then get my bus bars, and then wire the DC side of my inverters, and then get down to my battery. But that's what we're doing. I know it's not perfection, but I'm trying to do it as tidy as we possibly can. I'm trying to use, you know, like the flexible conduit to keep the cables tidy, because a lot of this, it's just cables that's coming out my junk pile. You know, years of junk, stuff that's come off jobs, stuff that I've saved up, stuff that I've bought for other development projects. So I'm just using it all up. I quite like these. These are cable tie blocks. So you screw these to the wall, you put a cable tie through them, and you tie your cables to them. So we've run a load of these up the beams, ready for getting the solar panels on the roof so we can tidy the cables up. So I had James doing this. So every 2 foot, he's put a block. He's put like a bottom row and a top row. So the top row will do the first 12 panels, the bottom row will do the next 12 panels. Yeah, he stopped there. I think I was supposed to go on the roof and put a bit of conduit through so we knew where to go. But bit by bit we move on. So if anybody's got any questions, please ask them in the comments below and I'll try and answer. I'm trying to do a video every week just to show you step by step how I'm wiring up my solar system. So I keep getting quite a few emails and Facebook messages, people asking me about solar systems, people saying that they've had a quote and the solar installer wants about £3 to do the work. Well, you know, £3, that's realistically what a team would charge to do this work. You know, I think this would probably cost 3,000 or 4,000 to get somebody in to wire all this up. So, you know, labour's not cheap anymore. I work away from home. I know what it's costing me just to go to work. Hotels and diesel and fan repairs and qualifications and registration of your qualifications. It's costing a fortune these days. Nothing's cheap. So if anybody wants to follow along, and just keep asking questions in each video and I'll try and help you if you're building your own solar system. Right folks, so that's all I've got for today. Bit of a ramble, but I hope everybody gets what we're doing, and yeah, just drop us a comment and we'll see you on the next one.